welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. I'm Helen from Contagious Creativity, and I'm going to be doing a slightly different video today. I'm making the cover of my journal. I normally do this towards the middle to end of the month. Something about getting a feel for the month. I like to make sure I'm not going to be doing something that totally doesn't reflect the month. And today I thought I would do some jelly printing. I do a lot of this in my mixed media journals, and I thought I'll do a bit for the front of my journal. I love jelly printing. I probably would do it for hours if I had the time. It's really relaxing, it's really gratifying as well. You get to get some beautiful papers and stuff, and loads of them, as you'll see from what I do now. At the moment I'm using this great big screen printing stencil, no, not stencil, stamp, that's the word, just to make some prints, and I'm using pinks and whites, and you'll see I kind of use that colour family mostly for all the prints, because it's a February journal, so I kind of wanted to have a sort of romantic feel to it because of Valentine's being in the month. But that is what I'm doing in this process. I thought I would just let you see all of the jelly prints that I make, and then you'll see I select one, and I will just play some plinky plonky music whilst I do that, and you can listen to it, but then I will come back with the actual how I make the journal in a little bit. So, speak to you in a minute. Bye.
I want to see you.
I'm just popping on to say I've just been using regular printer paper, and also that I'm just adding this into my journal just so I've got another background to work with on a later date. This is my art journal.
I want to see you.
So I've selected this print. It was one of the ghost prints actually, where the mandalas were a little less clear than on some of the others, but I really liked the look of it, and I felt it needed grunging up a little bit. So I've got some acrylic ink in black, and I'm just splattering it across to kind of grunge it up a little bit. I wasn't intending on doing the kind of grungy look, but I just thought it kind of worked. And I'm just literally tapping my paintbrush over the paper like so, and then I wait for that to dry. I do it with some of the other ones as well, just so I can use them in future prints, but I will let you listen to some more music and then I'll come back for the next stage. So everything is dry now, and I'm just looking and checking I do want that first print, because I do really quite like the butterflies, but I do end up sticking with this print, and I'm just working out how I'm going to pop it on my journal. So it's just a tad wider than the journal, but it will tuck round quite nicely. So that's the centre page, and I'm just laying it out flat to check the pages. I always try to make sure that my paper is done when the journal is curved round, because it does obviously bulk out a little bit, and I want to make sure that I'm not cutting it too short or sticking it down too short. So I'm just ending up folding the pieces under like so that it all tucks in nicely, and it allows it to open and close quite nicely. I hope that makes some sort of sense. Just because of the way it curves round, it needs to be slightly bigger than if it was just laid out flat. I hope that makes sense to you. So what I do then is I just get some sticky tape. It's just regular old Scotch tape. Stick it down on each side, making sure that I've got that little bit of give, and that will just hold it in place. Then I secure it all at the end with some double-sided sticky plastic, double sticky back plastic is what I call it. I don't know whether the rest of the world calls it that, but sticky back plastic is what I use. I'm then thinking I'm going to use one of these inky quill printables. It says my heart is happy, because I thought that was quite a good theme for the month. Spoiler alert, I don't end up using this, but I fussy cut it out and it looks nice, but it's just not quite the right pink. It's a beautiful pink, it's quite kind of a dusky pink, but with the neon bright, it just doesn't work. It's too beautiful to not use properly. I really like this the font in it, but it doesn't quite work. I do try and move it around, see whether it works, but it just doesn't. So I had to cut the camera out there because something happened, can't remember what. So then I found this tape, which I got through Paper Maze, and it's got Create Memories. I really liked the bluey tones in the print that I'd got, so I wanted to kind of draw those out a little bit by adding this, and this tape seemed to work really well, because the whole point of keeping my journal is to have the memories, but also I create the memories for the journal, so it kind of works nicely with that. And because I'd popped that at the top, I then decided that I'm going to pop the bright pink version at I put the blue at the bottom, oh dear, and then I put the pink at the top, which I think says Imagine, and I feel that kind of just gives it a little something, because the print didn't quite go to the edge, although it kind of fades. It just needed a little something. It looked a bit too stark white for my liking at the top. Then I stupidly stick it to several pages. You'll see in a minute. I have a bit of trouble with this bit of tape. I don't know why it wasn't working for me. Then I'm thinking, do I want this? It just doesn't work. It's a real shame, but it just doesn't work. But there we go, best laid plans and all that. But mind you, with this cover, I didn't really have a plan, to be perfectly honest. It felt, all those splatters, I really liked them. I didn't really want them covered up, so it just doesn't work, and you miss the mandala as well. Then I get these thickers. I think they're called the Holly version. And I like the font in this, that most of the letters are slightly different, and they're not too thickers, if that makes any sense at all. They're not too bulky. So I decided I'm going to spell out the word February, because it's my February journal. In hindsight, I probably should have put somewhere February 2022. I think I did have that thought and go, oh, there's no numbers on here. Oh, I'll have to write it on some different way. And then did nothing about it and did put down my sticky back plastic. Oh, and then I forget how to spell February. And because I'm doing it backwards, I got all in a muddle and I was like, no, I'm going to have to just write it down. This pad of paper I have had for years. We got it in IKEA. Oh, years. It's older than my children, and it was huge, and it's still pretty big, but I'm trying to get through it. So I spell out the words for February down at the bottom, but it doesn't feel quite right. There's too much white space above it and not enough white space below it. So I changed my mind and moved all of all of the letters up a little bit. Yeah, it's one of those videos today, I'm afraid, people. It is where I make lots of decisions, then change my mind, or don't even make a decision for quite a while. But that's the creative process, isn't it? You try and figure out what works best. And I'm much happier with February placed there. It kind of works with that grungy feel, those black letters, and the splats kind of work nicely there. And then I feel it needs something else. So I go into my little box. If you haven't seen my February journal box setup, this is part of it. I've got some loose ephemera, and I want to put this Seriously I Love You. The colours work slightly better than the My Heart is Happy. So then I think, some more black to kind of have that more grungy vibe. So then I'm not really measuring, I'm just kind of winging it, really, to work out how I'm going to use it on the front and the back. So I just put a stripe and weirdly it goes right to the other end. It was just accident. Then I kind of, it's like a little shelf for it there. If you know me, you probably know that I don't like things just floating in the air generally, so I do like to kind of pop them down, which is why the February was down at the bottom, but it didn't work for me, so it is a bit more floaty than normal. I'm feeling it looks like it's been handwritten and splattered. That's what I'm going with anyway. So I stick this die cut. I think it's from Project Life many moons ago, I think. But I might be wrong. So apologies, that might be wrong. But yeah, so then I'm having a little finger twiddle and thinking, what else am I going to do? It needs something else. So then I go into my washi drawers and I've got this lovely map washi, which I think is Pebbles, possibly. I'll try and find that out and link it below if I can. It was part of a set. And then I find, oh yes, look, I've stuck loads of pages together. Oh, dearie me. So this map, just, again, it's kind of got that black grunginess to it, so I just add that to it, have a bit of a fight with it along the way, and just a rip, just to make it work. Come on, just rip it, you're done. There, lovely, there we go. And that is I'm pretty happy with that. Don't want to do too much, but then I'm like, nah, I need to add more, because it's me. So go to my inks, and I've got this, it's a stamp that I can't remember where it's from, I'm afraid, sorry. It stays on ink. I think it might just be a pack I got from Amazon, actually. And just feel it needs a little bit, so I'm doing some prints and some ghost printing as well, just to add a little bit more something to the page, make it look a bit more grungy. Because I've done it on the front, I then decided to do some on the back as well, because I do like to make my backs, I was going to say my backsides, I didn't mean my backside, I do like to make my backside look nice, yeah. Then last one, and then I think I am done. Oh no, one more, there we go. Just to make it extra inky splattered, like it's like a art journal almost. And then it's the double-sided sticky tape time. So I do that with some very cheap, it's not anything fancy, I think I got it in WH Smith's maybe, actually I think I got it in Staples, actually, thinking about it. So using my great big scissors, because I always do use these massive scissors, and you can see the last thing I probably covered was another journal, so the sizing is all about right. And then it's a case of just sticking it down. Again, remembering that you need to make sure you've got that curve. So if you stick it down when it's completely flat, it doesn't have enough give to shut properly. So you need to make sure that you are folding the book as you stick it down. Now I make a little bit, because I'm doing this on camera and I'm a little bit further away from it, I can't get hold of the book. So I fight with the book for a little while and then I stick it down. But you'll see what I mean by not having the book flat. So I stick this side down like this, and then I bring that side round so that it works with the curve. I hope that makes some sense. And then it's just a case of making sure that lies nice and flat, and then trimming it all down to size. So that's kind of my process of how I do cover journals. Other journals I've done with stickers, covered them entirely with stickers. Some journals I've used postcards to cover parts of them, which obviously it's not very, they're much harder, much less flexible, but it does look really nice, because I get some beautiful cards when I order things, and so it's nice to use those up. You can see I'm just doing some little nicks there, I'm just interrupting myself. That's just because if you need to have it in kind of an envelope-y kind of shape, otherwise it doesn't sit flat. hopefully you'll see as we do. So I'm just making the corners not complete right angles, probably 45 degrees ish, just so that they lie better and they don't hang over the other edges. So then I'm just folding all those down. I have actually already decorated the inside cover. I haven't done the end because I tend to do that at the very last minute. On my back page, I tend to put a QR code to the related flip through video. Oh, I can never say that. And some other bits and bobs. But that's just what I like to do. So I haven't obviously decorated that yet because it hasn't all happened yet. But that is kind of my making of the journal cover, and I hope that makes sense to you. And I hope you've enjoyed it. So I will leave you here and I will say thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and remember, creativity is contagious. Pass it on. If you haven't already subscribed, I'd love for you to be on board, and I hope you enjoyed this video and would like to see more from me. Thank you for all your lovely comments, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.